Can Grant McCasland and the Red Raiders make it 5 for 5? Well, they have an opportunity to this weekend. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, you might as well like the video as well. If you want more Texas Tech men's basketball daily videos, we've got you covered, and then some even during the offseason. So be sure to subscribe, tell your Red Raider friends about us, and like the video while we're at it. Some of you might be wondering, RC, what do you mean 5 for 5 on this? No, I'm not talking about that Wendy's deal with the burgers and the fries and stuff, even though that's a great deal. Hashtag sponsor me, Wendy's. No, what I'm talking about is Grant McCasland has had 4 official visitors so far. They've had 4 commitments. Now you got another one in Dishon Jackson. Now, I've talked about Dishon Jackson a little bit already, and I'll post the video down in the comments below if you want to hear a full scouting report on his game. But really, in this video, I'm going to talk more about his potential fit with the Red Raiders and how I think he could actually play alongside Warren Washington for significant minutes. But before we get into that, let's lay the groundwork of what's going on this weekend for Texas Tech men's basketball. Dishon Jackson is on his official visit right now to Texas Tech. He posted that via his Instagram, where he had the typical hotel room where they have everything laid out for the recruit and everything. And then he had the geotag of Lubbock, Texas. Now, again, I've talked about his game a little bit more, and go watch that video if you want a firm scouting report breakdown of him. But I like the potential fit for him with Texas Tech. And now Dishon Jackson is 6'10", playing weight of 250, average 6 points per game, 4 rebounds, and average 1.2 blocks per game in about 16 minutes of playing time up at Washington State 2 years ago. Last year, he did not play due to an undisclosed medical concern. Again, none of our business on that front. As long as he's cleared by doctors, he should be good to go. First and foremost, when I look at those stats, it's mighty impressive that he averaged over a block per game in 16.2 minutes. Starters don't even average that sometimes with his size and his skill set, right? But I like the potential fit alongside Warren Washington for a couple reasons. And the main one being this is they are vastly different players, but both are effective when on the floor. Warren Washington is more of that athletic big. I hate to compare everybody to Tariq Owens, but just to get that mental note, he's kind of like that, probably a little lesser than Tariq Owens when it comes to athleticism, but that's the kind of guy you're getting in Warren Washington. When it comes to Dishon Jackson, he's more of that traditional post-up guy, 6'10", big body guy, uses his size well, knows how to use leverage really well when it comes to his size, but isn't going to wow you athletically at the point of attack in terms of the rim, the paint, and all that kind of stuff, right? Offensively, though, Jackson is a big body guy that I talked about, and he sets really good screens. And I think the biggest compliment I can give to his game offensively is he does know how to use his body very, very well off of screens in terms of sealing things, whether that's for the guy that's the primary ball handler, whether that's Pop in this situation if he does come to Texas Tech, Chance, Lamar, whoever it may be, right? He seals the lane very well, so it's an easier shot for the primary ball handler off of the screen, or he seals it for the point of attack for him, where he gets down there, one dribble, keeps his head up for a potential double, passes out of it if there's a double, and if not, he uses his size to go up and over guys, right? He does a very good job of that. Defensively, I mean, if he plays with Warren Washington, you're talking about legit 2 7-footers out there, 14 feet of height, and then not to mention a wingspan combined of over 14 feet as well. And they do so many different things. The lineup that I can't help but wonder if Jackson does come to Texas Tech in terms of what the potential could be is Pop, Chance, Dishon Jackson, and then Warren. You got a lot of length there. You got a couple guys that aren't great defensively in Pop and Chance, and Dishon maybe playing out of position at the 3 there. But I really like it from the standpoint of you got 3 shooters around those guys and a ton of rebounding, and 2 guys that are really good at the pick and roll in terms of Jackson and Washington and doing different things. I also don't mind Jackson stepping away, maybe the free throw line tops with a jumper. He's got a nice touch for a big man, but outside of that, I can't help but wonder about that lineup potentially for Texas Tech in terms of you're not going to see that as the starters, I don't think, but you could potentially see some run there. And obviously, too, Jackson can come in and be that guy that, gives Warren Washington a little bit of time off and vice versa in terms of, hey, you don't want Warren playing 33 minutes a game. You want him closer to probably that 29-30 range. And then you play a guy like Jackson probably in that 14 to 16 range every given night. But I want to hear from you guys. This is an interactive show. You guys know how that is. Do you think Texas Tech lands Dishon Jackson? Just a Y for yes or an N for no. It's the pinned comment down below. And again, Grant McCasland trying to go 5 for 5 when it comes to official visitors on the Texas Tech campus. It's a little easier once they get there. I think everybody knows that a little bit. But hey, again, you got to get him there first, and he's gotten Dishon Jackson there. And I think Dishon Jackson would be a nice second big for Texas Tech in the traditional sense going into next season. If you haven't already as well, be sure to like the video. We're giving you daily Texas Tech men's basketball content, even during the offseason, talking, hey, how is this going to work in terms of the rotation, potential coaching updates, roster updates, and everything in between in terms of what I've been hearing from practice and what other people have told me as well. So be sure to stay in the know by not only subscribing, but like the video as well, and it'll pop back up on your feed here on YouTube. All right, let's jump into the roster right now and how it currently stands before the potential addition of Dishon Jackson. You've got Pop, you've got Lindsey, Jennings, Walton, both of the Williams, both of the Washingtons, McMillan, Ylahu, and Steffi. Jackson is a pivotal player right now at this point in time for the Red Raiders. Again, there's not many guys in the portal that can come in and play pretty solid minutes for you that are bigs at this point in time, right? I've mentioned it in other videos as well, but don't be surprised if, let's just play the hypothetical game here. Let's say Dishon Jackson does commit, right? You have one scholarship remaining. You're going to see more grad transfers enter the portal this summer, and that one scholarship could be pivotal for Texas Tech to potentially go out and get another wing that could play significant minutes for the Red Raiders next year. Why, you might ask? If they graduate in the summer, they're not in the portal yet because they're technically not grad transfers. But once they graduate after summer one, you're going to see a slew of guys enter the portal here starting around July 4th, right? July 6th, in that range. And Texas Tech could potentially have one, if not two scholarships remaining to go add those guys. But I think Dishon Jackson has a solid chance at landing and playing in the Scarlet and Black next season. I think Grant McCasland and crew have done a phenomenal job of getting guys to campus and securing those commitments. And let's face it, as I just previously mentioned, there's not a lot of guys that are in the portal right now that are 6'10" from a Power 6 program at Washington State who have proven that they can play at the Power 6 level, albeit in a role player type role, right? Again, 1.2 blocks per game. I don't care how many minutes you're playing as a center. That's a really good number, and he did it in just over 16 minutes per game, not to mention he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds. He's a guy that's going to have to get into shape if he does become a Red Raider, but if he gets down to 250, 255, I think you could see him play alongside Warren Washington. That's something that I'm very interested in seeing, and I do think, obviously, he could be the guy that backs up Warren Washington in spells as well and really be that impactful big off the bench for the Red Raiders. But as it stands right now, Dishon Jackson is visiting the Texas Tech campus via his Instagram. And now we just have to wonder, can Grant McCasland make it a perfect 5 for 5 when it comes to official visitors to the Texas Tech campus for his time as the Red Raiders head coach? I am RC Maxfield reminding you, if you want the latest news and rumors when it comes to Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button to stay in the know right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.